Welcome back to my channel. The Architect has returned to Monday Night Raw, and this time, he didn't come alone, because in one of the most jaw-dropping twists the WWE Universe has witnessed in recent memory, Seth freakin' Rollins walked back into the spotlight with the very same masked attacker who turned Survivor Series War Games 2025 upside down, and together they issued a chilling call-out to CM Punk that instantly shifted the entire landscape of WWE's hottest rivalry, sending shockwaves through the arena and across the wrestling world as fans realized that the mystery they had been obsessing over for weeks was finally about to unravel in the most explosive way possible. Ever since the chaotic and controversial ending to Survivor Series War Games, the WWE Universe has been searching for answers, replaying the final moments over and over in their minds, trying to piece together the truth behind the shadowy figure who scaled the towering steel cage, struck down CM Punk with the unmistakable force of Seth Rollins' own finishing move, the Stomp, and swung the match in favor of Paul Heyman's Vision faction when it mattered most. That single moment changed everything, not just the outcome of the match, but the direction of multiple careers and alliances, leaving fans stunned and divided as speculation ran wild across social media, locker rooms, and backstage corridors. For weeks, rumors pointed in one clear direction, with many believing that Austin Theory, known for his hunger for opportunity and willingness to do whatever it takes to climb the ladder, was the man hiding behind the mask. The move looked like Rollins' Stomp. The timing fit Theory's ambitions, and the silence surrounding the attacker only fueled the theory further. But even as that rumor gained traction, one massive question continued to loom over the entire situation like a dark cloud. If Austin Theory truly was the attacker, then who was the puppet master pulling the strings, and what was the real motive behind such a perfectly timed betrayal? That question is what transformed this mystery from a simple whodunit into one of the most intriguing conspiracies WWE has seen in years. Tonight on Monday Night Raw, that question finally received an answer, and it wasn't the answer anyone expected. Seth Rollins didn't just make a dramatic return to television after weeks of silence and speculation. He walked back into the spotlight carrying the truth with him, standing side by side with the very man who had altered the course of Survivor Series, instantly proving that this was never just about identifying the attacker, it was about exposing the mind behind the attack. This was no longer a story about a masked figure executing a single move in the shadows. It became a story about power, betrayal, vengeance, and a plan that had been unfolding in plain sight without anyone realizing it. The WWE Universe quickly came to understand that discovering the identity of the man in the mask was only half the puzzle, because the real danger was never the weapon that struck CM Punk. It was the person who aimed it, loaded it, and chose the exact moment to pull the trigger. Austin Theory, if he was indeed the man under that mask, was never more than a tool, a hired gun doing what he was paid to do. Weapons do not fire themselves, and the realization that someone had carefully orchestrated every second of that pivotal moment made the entire situation far more sinister and personal than anyone had originally imagined. For a brief moment after Survivor Series, many believed that Seth Rollins himself was a victim of circumstance, another casualty of a chaotic match, another competitor wronged by the madness of War Games. But tonight shattered that illusion completely. Seth Rollins did not return to Raw seeking justice, answers, or clarity. He returned to take credit. He returned to reveal that he was not a pawn in this story, but the architect of the entire scheme from the very beginning. The moment CM Punk's music hit, the atmosphere inside the arena shifted instantly. The straight-edge savior made his way down the ramp with purpose in his stride. Tension etched across his face as he prepared to finally address the swirling rumors and demand the truth that had been stolen from him at Survivor Series. The crowd roared in anticipation, fully expecting Punk to unleash weeks of bottled-up frustration on the microphone. But before he could even open his mouth, the arena was cut through by the unmistakable sound of Seth Rollins' manic, echoing laugh. That laugh alone was enough to send chills through the audience, because it signaled that something monumental was about to happen. As the lights focused on the entrance stage, Seth Rollins emerged, wearing that familiar confident smirk that has become synonymous with both brilliance and chaos throughout his career. But this time he was not alone. Standing beside him, dressed in black tactical gear and wearing the exact same mask that shocked the world at War Games, was the mystery attacker himself. The sight of the two standing together sent the crowd into a frenzy of boos, gasps, and disbelief. In that single visual, weeks of rumors, theories, and arguments were suddenly given a terrifying new context. Rollins slowly made his way toward the ring, microphone in hand, savoring the reaction as if he had been waiting for this exact moment all along. With a cold, deliberate confidence, he turned his attention to CM Punk, who stood frozen in the ring, eyes locked on both men, trying to process what he was seeing in real time. Rollins raised the microphone and, with a tone that blended mockery and satisfaction, addressed Punk directly, asking him if he had been searching for answers, if he had been losing sleep wondering who climbed that cage, who delivered that decisive stomp, and who robbed him of everything at the most critical moment of his comeback. With each question, the tension in the building grew heavier, the crowd hanging on every word as Rollins deliberately stretched out the suspense. Then, in a single gesture, he extended his arm toward the masked attacker standing beside him and said, in no uncertain terms, that the man Punk had been searching for was standing right there in front of him. But the most shocking moment was yet to come. Knowing the one question that had consumed the WWE Universe for weeks, Rollins addressed it head-on. He acknowledged that everyone wanted to know who had hired the attacker, who had set this entire tragedy in motion. He paused, staring directly at CM Punk, and delivered 3 simple words that completely rewrote the Survivor Series narrative. I did. In an instant, the entire story of War Games was turned upside down. Seth Rollins, the visionary, the master planner, the man so many believed had been betrayed, revealed himself as the mastermind all along. By hiring Austin Theory, who is now almost undeniably confirmed as the masked man through the execution of Rollins' own signature stomp and Theory's reputation for ruthless ambition, Rollins had constructed a plan so cold-blooded and calculating that it sacrificed short-term victory to secure long-term destruction. He had been willing to let his own side suffer defeat if it meant ensuring that his true target, CM Punk, paid the ultimate price. This was never about brand supremacy, faction dominance, or the chaos of War Games. This was personal. This was revenge. This was a vendetta that had been quietly brewing beneath